Hey girls. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Lindsay Marsoon. I'm a Blue status presenter with Younique. Rachel and Krista like to call me the makeover queen. um, they like to call me the makeover queen. And Krista asked me to do this video for you guys. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I do and how I quadruple promoted in less than 4 weeks when I first started. And I started Younique about 5 weeks ago. So in those first 4 weeks, I went from entry level to white to yellow to pink to blue. So my biggest revenue was, my biggest source of PRS, so to speak, was these makeovers that I do. And a lot of girls came to me and asked me, sorry, my hair's crazy, came to me and asked me, hey, I want a makeover. Now that, and they're kind of like, oh, I saw that you're doing this, so I know that you know your stuff. And it helps that I'm a makeup nerd, okay? But basically this is what I do. And I'm going to try to cram a whole lot of information into just a few minutes for you guys. So if you take notes like I do, take notes. That's your best thing to do. Basically, I like to call them fresh face days. The reason I do that, and that is a term that I coined myself, and the reason I do that is because I feel like there's a little bit of a stigma behind the word makeover, because a lot of these girls don't need a makeover. It's not that they're doing anything wrong. I call it fresh face day. And I do that because I feel like when they leave here, they are going to feel fresh. They're going to feel like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got this much coverage with just a little bit of makeup. I mean, they're going to feel differently when they leave my home as when they came in. So I like to call them fresh face days. Feel free to call them come up with your own terminology, and feel free to call them whatever you want to call them, okay? That's just what I call them, and that's my kind of little thing that I do. And we have a pool, and now that it's getting warm outside and it's beautiful natural lighting under the porch, I like to go out there and sit and do my fresh face days out there beside the pool. And so that's what I like to do. The girls feel comfortable, we feel comfortable, we're having conversation. And what I do is, for the most part, I will say, okay, three days this week I can do makeovers, because this day I've got an appointment, or this day I'm doing this, or this day we have a field trip. So what I will do is I will say, okay, I've got Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. And I have 3 kids, and 2 of mine are in elementary school. And the other one he's 1 and he's a heart baby, so he stays home with me. And so what I do is I schedule those fresh face days for any time between 11 and 2, because that's when he is going to be napping. And if I've got somebody who wants to do 11:30, then I'll make sure I put him down right before then. That way we have plenty of time to talk, and he takes good naps, so that's nice that I can have a good couple of hours to talk to my girls. And I have a lot of success doing this. First of all, seeing is believing with this stuff. It's hard to put $39 into a purchase of a foundation that you have no idea who this random person is on YouTube. I mean, you can look and stalk people all you want, but I know personally, unless I know you, I'm not gonna do that. So that's a big thing. Once I get it, and I'm like, no, baby girl, this is your color, and we're gonna put 5 drops on this brush. You're gonna put it on your face, and you're gonna be amazed. And they're all like, what? I mean, their jaws drop. It's amazing to see people's reactions right when they get that first initial liquid foundation on. And then they start falling in love with the rest of the products because they're seeing it firsthand. And of course, I'm always done up, and I try different looks, and they're always like, okay, what's on your eyes? What's on it? What, you know? And then I show them at the same time my tips and my tricks, like with the bronzer and the contouring, and use one brush for this, and this, and I do that sort of thing. So keep that in mind. You're also using that time to get that relationship going. And each one of my fresh face days has has brought in PRS of anywhere from about 150 to 350, and that is in one sitting. And don't be surprised or don't be scared, because the ones that you think this person is not going to buy a single thing, those are the ones that will get $300 worth of stuff, because they're like, oh my gosh, I don't wear anything because I've never found anything like this. So don't have that mindset. Just think, I'm going to sell this, and I try not to upsell like full on, like, okay, you need this, this, and this. But I will be like, okay, listen, these palettes are freaking amazing. You can use them for your shadow. You can use the shimmer in this palette for your highlight. You can use the darkest shade for your liner. You can use this brown shade. This matches your eyebrows. You can use this for your eyebrows, and so that way they're like, oh, well, that's cool. And they know there's a trust there, because they know that I'm not trying to sell them extra stuff. So keep that in mind. I'd rather them buy the palette than just one eyebrow pencil. Okay. And I did this, and I was doing one lady at a time. A couple of times I did kind of back-to-backs, or if there's like a daughter and a mother, they like to come together. I'm just starting to do the Fresh Face Nights, Ladies Night In, and get the hostess to get 3 or 4 of her friends, whether it be her mom, her aunt, or sister, whoever. Even if it's just 4 ladies, you can get, think about it. Each one of those ladies is going to get at least probably around $100 to $150. Some may get more, some may get less. So $150 times, 4 girls, that's $600 in PRS. So just keep that in mind. And that's one night. That's like 1.5 hours, or 1.5 to 2 hours, depending on how much you talk. And I talk a lot, as you can see. But that, I've noticed that. And then those girls who've gotten together, the one who's hostessing, she gets all the free products. So that right there, that's a good bit of free products for her. So that's her incentive, and those ladies are going to see, because I'll have my little computer sitting right there and be putting in the orders, and those ladies will see, and they will see how much she's going to get, and they'll want to do it too, because they're like, well, I didn't have to do anything. All I had to do is tell them to come over and, have some coffee, and one thing that I do is I have a notebook of all my customers that come over for their Fresh Face Days, and I will write down every single thing that I put on their face. And then what we do is, during that time, I'm like, okay, let's make your must-have list. And we sit and we make a list of about 4 or 5 products or brushes or whatnot. Then they have a wish list of their extra brushes that I have to have this brush, but I really kind of like this one, so I want this one for my powder, but I really, really want the foundation brush. So I'll put that in the must-have. I'll put the powder brush in the wish list. Most of the time, what happens is those ladies will order everything in their must-have list. Then the next week or the week after, they will order everything in their wish list, because their budget has started over. And if they're anything like me, or your girls are anything like you, they budget. So they want to, make sure that okay, I want to do this, and the next week I'm doing this. And most of the time I'll say, okay, well, when do you want me to call you about your wish list stuff? And they'll say, call me in 2 Fridays, or call me next Thursday. And I'll send them a message. I'll say, hey, do you want me to order this for you? And yes, please. It's time. I want it. I can't wait to get it, because I already got my other stuff and I absolutely love it. So that helps. And it also helps when they ask you, what was that purple color you put on my eyelid today, or yesterday, or 4 weeks ago? And you say, I have no idea. But don't say that, because you have your book with your customer list in it, and all of their goodies that you put on them and all their stuff. Then you have that reference to go back to, and it makes them also feel special, because they feel like, I can't believe she remembered all my stuff that she put on my face that day. That's crazy. So you can say, yes, babe girl, you got dainty, and that was the color that you just fell in love with. And if you're gonna get that, I would recommend to get your eye primer, because that's gonna make that dainty stay on all day long and not crease, and you will be amazed. And she'll be like, oh yeah, okay, let's get that too. So keep that in mind. So kind of upsell that way, and instead of doing the other. So yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me. If you have anything you want to say, comment on the video and I will respond. Another thing I do and I started doing this is even if they are not 100% interested in like the lip pencils or whatnot, I'll do like, I know this, y'all probably see this, but I just did this little heart right here. I've had it on since noon when I did, and then it's 8:30 right now. I've had it on since noon, and just I was showing her, I was like, oh, by the way, that's not a that's a lip pencil, and she's like, what? And so she was super amazed, and she wrote that on her wish list because she's like, I gotta have that pink one. It's awesome. So I just thought that was really cool. I just kind of put it right there, and I literally still have my white one on from earlier today. So just little things here and there, and just getting to know someone, building that relationship in a different way, in a more personal way. It's absolutely, it's the best thing that, I mean, I had 5,000 PRS in my first 3.5 weeks doing those, and that is what got me the most. I mean, I had a lot of orders from girls, getting their supplies, and everything, because they know me, they saw my videos, they saw everything. So keep that in mind, because you will have those as well on the side. But that right there was my biggest. I mean, that was huge. I mean, I quadruple promoted in 3.5 weeks, and it was crazy good. So thank you for watching, and thank you, Krista, for asking me to do this. I'm so excited to share this with you guys, and hope for the best for all of you, and that all of you get amazing results from this. So like I said, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.